Enough. That single word, echoing across the Sahel, spelled doom for France's decades-long military presence. From the sun-scorched sands of Niger to the bustling capital of Burkina Faso, 2024 witnessed an unprecedented wave of defiance. 5 nations, one after another, slammed the door on, demanding the withdrawal of French troops. The map of African power was about to be redrawn. For decades, the narrative surrounding Africa's relationship with its former colonizers has been carefully curated, often whispered in hushed tones of dependency and lingering influence. But beneath the surface, a seismic shift is underway, a subtle yet unmistakable assertion of self-determination echoing across the continent. The winds of change are rarely sudden gales, more often, they are a persistent breeze, eroding old structures brick by brick. We see this now in the Sahel, a region historically viewed as a stronghold of French power, a place where military presence was considered not just a partnership, but an expectation. Yet, the expectation is breaking. In 2024, something extraordinary happened. A quiet defiance, almost coordinated, rippled through 5 nations. Burkina Faso, Mali, Niger, Central African Republic, Gabon, each, in its own way, delivered a message that reverberated far beyond their borders: it's time to go. One by one, these nations, some grappling with internal conflicts, others seeking new alliances, firmly requested the withdrawal of French military bases from their soil. This isn't renegotiation, this is a declaration. In Niger, the demand came after a coup in July, underscoring the depth of anti-French sentiment within the population and new military junta. Central African Republic, still battling instability since the 2013 civil war, had already begun pivoting towards Russian security forces years ago. The implications are far-reaching. More than just strategic assets are being dismantled, it's a symbolic undoing of a power dynamic that has defined the region for generations. The narrative, for so long controlled from Paris, is being rewritten in Ouagadougou, Bamako, Niamey, Bangui, and Libreville. But here's the hidden truth, the part that many overlook: this wasn't a spontaneous eruption. This well-coordinated demand occurred in the same year that France commemorates the 80th anniversary of its liberation in World War II. Wait, what? The world watches. But are they truly? These brazen acts of self-determination aren't just about flag ceremonies and changing names on a door. It's about control. Control over resources, control over destiny, control over the narrative. For decades, the story has been written Africa, not Africa. The pen was held in Paris, Washington, London, anywhere but the continent itself. But the ink is changing. The old alliances are fraying, exposing the raw ambition underneath. And into that space steps a new player, one with deep pockets and a long-term vision: China. We cannot ignore the sheer magnitude of China's presence. Since 2000, China has invested a staggering in Africa. Let that sink in. $2 trillion. That's more than the entire Marshall Plan handed out to rebuild Europe after World War II. Roads, railways, ports, hospitals, dams. Chinese investment is physically reshaping the African landscape. But at what cost? Are these investments truly altruistic, or are they simply a new form of colonialism, this time disguised in the language of infrastructure and development? Look closer. Follow the money. See who benefits, who loses, who dictates the terms. This isn't just about bricks and mortar. It's about influence. It's about power. Because while the echoes of French boots fade from African soil, a different kind of footprint is being imprinted. And perhaps the most significant investment of all: the silence. The silence surrounding the terms, the silence surrounding the true beneficiaries. And the silence, most importantly, surrounding the fact that since 2015, the Chinese government has trained more African military personnel than Western nations combined. So, 5 nations, all in 1 year, directly told France to leave, permanently altering the geopolitical landscape of the continent. It's a powerful assertion of sovereignty, signaling a desire for a more equitable relationship with global powers, one where African nations chart their own course. This isn't just about military presence, it's about economic control, cultural influence, and the future of African agency. For Africans today, this matters because it represents a tangible shift. It's demonstrating that independence is not a static state, but a continuous process of reclaiming power. Want to delve deeper into these power shifts and the economic opportunities they present? Join our insider membership at pornoafric.com/membership.html for just $9 a month. You'll gain exclusive access to insightful analysis, expert interviews, and actionable strategies for building wealth in this new African era. Subscribe for more African wealth stories. Globe showing Europe Africa Money Bag.